Hello everyone, I'm Food for Dogs with another unboxing. As you see, today I want to do a collector's edition box for Caligula Overdose. And there's a little bit of a story behind that, as there is with most of my boxes. But first I'll go a bit into the background for this game. You may know it, you may not know it. It first came out, of course, on the PS Vita. And I've got a little history. It first was published for the PlayStation Vita in June of 2016 in Japan, and it then came west in May 2017. I bought it a few months later. It was only available digitally. It was never published physically in the West. Obviously, there is a physical edition in Japan, I'm sure, but I never bought it. So I played the heck out of the Caligula Effect, as the game was called. In 2017 and into 2018, I played it a lot, lots and lots. It comes with a beautiful theme, and you can see it here on the home screen. A really beautiful theme that comes with the digital deluxe edition. And I'll just open that up. And here's the game. I absolutely loved the game. I still love it. I play it to this day. I still haven't finished it. There is so much you can do in that game. I was almost dragging it out because I didn't want to finish it. It was not overly well received by the critics at the time. I'm not quite sure why. I think there was a lack of really looking a bit deeper at the game. The Caligula Effect suffered from that, and I believe that both the publisher and the developer obviously thought the game was worth more than that. So they worked on a PlayStation 4 edition, which came out in March of this year. You can get it either digitally or physically, and it was published worldwide. Now, I decided at the time, back in March, that I had the game on the Vita, and I thought, well, I'm buying so many other limited and collector's editions, I'll let this one go. And I will just get it digitally on the PlayStation Network. And it must have been nagging at me because, of course, I do love the game. I had looked at the collector's edition that was available for Europe and also America. And while it is a very nice collector's edition, it includes a poster. Now, normally I'm a big fan of posters, I love putting them up. But this one is bright white, and I couldn't see myself putting up a really bright white poster. It just wouldn't go with our surroundings, and I thought, no, and if I don't want to use the poster, then I just won't get the boxed edition. I then noticed a few months later that I think the European collector's edition certainly was sold out. Um, and I happened to see that an Asian edition was available, which I hadn't even really been aware of. And of course, as you know, Play Asia is forever reliable on these things. Um, so, on the spur of the moment, I thought you're gonna regret this if you don't get a physical copy of this game. So, I jumped in and decided to get the box, and I thought, well, it'll be something different. Um, the game is published by, it was published by Furyu in Japan and by Atlas in the United States. But I think in Asia the situation was different again, and Arc Systems was involved there as the publisher. So I will take the items out, and I have not unpacked this box yet, so I know there's a little figure inside, I think, but I don't know what it looks like. To be honest, I wasn't expecting too much. So let's get this packing material out of the way. This is, of course, the game itself. And as you can see, Furyu and Arc Systems are listed as publishers. This is the version with Chinese and English language provided. So we'll put that there. If you don't know the game at all, you might be wondering about the name, the Caligula Effect. There was also an anime made with the same name, and I would say that's definitely worth watching, especially if you're wondering about playing the game. It's set in the same universe and most of the same characters are there, but it has a sort of parallel story, so it's not the same story as in the game. Now, Caligula Effect, and I didn't know about that before playing the game, is a term from psychology, and it denotes the guilt and excitement that comes with doing something that you shouldn't do. And I remember the developer commented at the time that he wanted players to experience this while playing the game. He wanted to convey a sense of immorality. So from that you can already see that he was definitely aiming at some deeper themes in that game. And I would say that's definitely the case. It is set in a school, so we have the usual sort of high school type environment, a bit similar to what you might know from Persona games or Tokyo Xanadu, games like that. But calling it a sort of knockoff of Persona is really not right, in my opinion, because the game stands very much on its own feet and has its own story, topics and themes which are fairly different from Persona games. I would say if you're intrigued, it's well worth a look. Now, here we have the all-important steelbook. And as you know by now, I do love a well-designed steelbook. And on the back, that's the character called Mew, and she's a virtual idol. And she plays a very important part in the story, and not always a happy one. The story can get quite dark at times, and I like how each of the main characters has their own individual story arc. Some of them I found very affecting. So I'll get that box out. And here we have the soundtrack with 13, a small selection, but 13 soundtracks. And the box is just plain on the back, just with the title. And here we have the art book. And I do like the art in Caligula. I'm not familiar with the artist, I have to say. I tried looking him up and I didn't get very far. But I really think he's done some great work. Let me see if we can find some. It's quite stylized and yet it looks very natural. And the characters all look very natural in their environment when you play the game. It's got a very interesting, unusual and exciting combat system. So you don't have your average, boring kind of battle system. It really is very well done and very exciting. And I think one reason why they wanted to do a PS4 edition was that they could optimize the battle system much better on the more powerful the technology that the PS4 provides. Or the Vita version plays perfectly all right. I mean, I've never had any major problems, but at times the frame rate does suffer. So there's a very lovely and actually quite extensive art book with nearly 100 pages. She's one of my favorite characters in the game. She's still quite young, but she is an avid video blogger. Not exactly a YouTuber, but a bit similar, and she's very much into social media and occasionally causes havoc, but she's very smart and very with it. So that's the art book, really nicely done. And the final, I will have to get, I forgot to get some scissors or a knife. Oh, let me see, I might be able to peel off this. It's just a bit of sellotape. Look at that. There we are, almost. Not quite. I reckon that's been there a while. It only wants to come off in pieces. Just a second. Should always have my trusty cheese knife here. So, there we are. The box did not want to open up very well. Oh my goodness. Oh, I don't believe it. Here's a job for Poodle-Pa. Oh no. He's gonna faint. Look at this. Which way round? What on earth is this, you'll say? Well, it is a box with a lot of individual little pieces. A lot. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. Oh my goodness, we'll be busy forever. Check in next year. We might have it finished by then. Oh, look at that. I think it's supposed to be a little a figurine like this. Sort of like a little cubey Lego style figurine. I can't guarantee ours will look like that. That'll be exciting. Oh, dear me. Yes. So that's a little M block, or new block they call it. So I'll just put them back. And there you have it. One Caligula Effect Overdose limited edition. I was not prepared for these little bags of Lego pieces. I really wasn't. Oh, but I do love the steel book and the art book in particular. Very nice. And the soundtrack is very good too. So, there we are. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Food for Dogs. Bye-bye.